Oh, skinny jeans fit just right.
Ball there came back from Cocoa Beach. That one came back from Lake Nona.
Just enough. Okay, everybody, so there you guys have it. That was the Hyroad Nano Part 2 done and dusted. Finally, it's out of the way. And for those of you who are new here, yes, Part 2. There is a Part 1. You can go check it out. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I recommend that you don't because my form, my skill level, all that stuff, it really wasn't all that great then compared to now. But if you want to have a good old laugh and make fun of my disastrous form back in that Part 1 video, then go for it. I don't care. But one thing I will say is in my part one video, I did play 5 games rather than, like what I did here in part two. I played only 3 as I felt it was only necessary because in that part one video, I actually that was the first time that I'd ever done a pin down layout on a bowling ball. I was always doing pin up, and I was intrigued by what this bowling ball, how it reacted, and I just tried to, it was a struggle, but I was determined to try to figure that out, how to work with that. And yeah, that's why I ended up playing 5, and it was okay, but it wasn't all that great. If we look here in that part 1, I got 201, 226, a 192, 211, and 182. And that made out for a series total of 1,012 and an average of 202.4, whereas obviously, as we can see, it's quite a little bit of an improvement. Game 1, I got 196, Game 2, 237, and Game 3, 225, with a series total of 658 and an average of 219.33. Now, to those of you who are not so experienced at the game may think that's still pretty great, but those of you with serious experience will know that really isn't too far off from my part 1 series. That it's an improvement, but not that big of an improvement. So yeah, that's why I'm kind of like not satisfied with this. But what's done is done. What I really wanted to see was how things have changed from that part 1 to this part 2, and obviously things are a little better. No, not a lot better in my form, my release, my skill level. But the problem here was that I still struggled to figure out that Hyroad Nano, and the big reason for that, in my opinion, is because of that pin down layout. When I had that pin down layout put into the ball, that was done long before I had my pin to PAP figured out. And only just recently we had my pin to PAP figured out. So yeah, really, when we had the holes punched into that ball, we basically winged it, because we didn't have my pin to PAP. And I'm actually kind of glad that back then we didn't have my pin to PAP because, again, my skill level and everything was different compared to now. And I only wanted to do that when I felt I was, 100% satisfied with everything, my release, my approach, my skill level. Then I was going to be like, all right, I think I've got everything I need. I'm satisfied with my game. I'm ready to find out what my pin to PAP is. So I know some of you might look at that differently, but that's how I felt about it. That's why I waited till 2.5 years later to figure out what my pin to PAP was. But yeah, there you go. So it didn't match up well with me because we put a pin down layout that didn't match up with me. So really, the only thing I can say is that it's still kind of pretty impressive that I managed to get what I got, despite that it was kind of a struggle. But I kind of do regret putting that pin down layout on that Hyroad Nano, simply because I truly believe that I can work with pin down. I remember there was one point where I said pin down is just not for me. I'm going to avoid it completely. It's not totally true. I'm sure now that we know that what my pin to PAP is. We can start, me and my Pro Shop guy can get together and just start figuring out some good pin down layouts for me. But I feel like this ball would have been better off having a pin up layout because I love the reaction on it. It was like probably the most aggressive out of all the Hyroads I've ever used. And I love how even with this pin down layout, which I hear is supposed to make the ball not as aggressive. It's supposed to make it react sooner and a little bit smoother. This thing was pretty insane with what it did. I like that there was some of those shots you guys saw in there where I sent the ball far to the right and it still recovered with a bang. It was truly incredible. And you can see my reaction. I'm like, what now? I don't remember ever seeing that in my part 1 video, so that was pretty cool to see that the ball had some serious recovery to it. But all in all, really, if I ever do find another Hyroad Nano, I'm going to do things the right way. So I don't know. Don't count on a part 3. I don't know how I'm feeling about it, but that's really all I can say about this ball. There's not much because this is a discontinued ball. Is this really important? I understand how a lot of you feel like it's probably unnecessary for me to do reviews on discontinued bowling balls, but I do it because I do it because for my own enjoyment. I want to know what it's like to use a certain bowling balls that I didn't have the chance to get. Like, for example, I have the Uproar. That is an amazing ball. I haven't reviewed it yet, but I will. And I know a ton of you would probably be curious to see that ball in my hands as well. And any of you who have heard of that ball, know that ball, dude, yeah, I can't wait to do that one, honestly. But anyway, that's enough of me rambling on about this. Hope you guys enjoyed that part two. Of course, I don't even know what I'm going to do next, but we'll just figure it out as we go along. So that's a wrap. I'm Frank the Tank. See you guys in the next one.